Okay, right, guys. So this is our previous session. We covered variables, data types, operators, objects. Yeah. So in objects, in R, almost we discussed. These are the six operate objects plays a very important role in R programming. Okay. So we finished all these things: arrays, factors, data frame, right? So we'll talk about functions, right? So before functions in R programming, same like C language, we have if statement, okay? If else statements, else if ladder, switch, break, okay? We don't have continue, we have next, okay? And we have loops also, for loop, while loop, for each loop, okay? All these things we have in the R programming. So for you, I'm giving those loops and conditions as self-learning topic. You just see those things. Okay. So now we'll talk about functions. Okay. So before talking about these functions, let me show you the R Studio. Okay. So this is the R Studio, right? So here mainly we have four parts here. This is uh, the R script. You are going to write R script here, and this is the console. Okay, so here you can write the programs, and here also you can write the programs, but the basic difference between here and here is this is a console. After writing one line, if you click on enter, immediately it is going to execute. For example, see here. So I gave a 10. So when I print A, immediately it is going to respond. But whenever I want to write some program, for example, I want to write for loop. Okay, by using for loop, I want to write some code here. Okay, one call 1:10. I want to display. So print, sorry, print some I see here. So for this purpose, we'll use this one. Immediately we'll have the answer. But whenever you'll have some lines of code, whenever you want to include some conditions and all those things, so this is the best suitable. Okay. So see here, this is the sample for loop I used here. So this is the syntax in our programming. So this is the initializer, and this is the range from 1 to 10. I want to display. Okay. So every time it is going to increment by 1 till 10. When it reaches 10, then it is going to it is going to come out from that loop. Okay, so all these things, similarly we have while loop. For each loop also we'll have. So you just go through those. So in some, whenever you are visualizing the data, you are going to use these things, right? And this is when you go to file, when you create a new file, see here we have R script, R notebook. Okay, so in the R script, you're going to write your script. And after writing the script, when you are saving, when you click on save, it is going to save in your desktop or wherever the position, location you give. The extension of this R script is R. Okay, so in the same way, C++, C++.cpp. In the same way, we'll have the extension is .r. Okay, so here I wrote a small program. So I loop, same for loop I used. Okay, and B, I'm giving, what I'm doing here is whatever the I value is there, I'm printing the squares of those things. Okay, so after writing this, so here you'll have a button here, run. So you can click on this, or the short form is control enter. When you click on control enter also, it is going to execute. But when you run this program, your output will be displayed in the console only. Your output will be displayed in the console. Okay, so these are the two parts. And the third part is environment. Okay, so here, whenever you are taking some variables here, that particular variables and values is going to show in this environment box. Okay, so when you see here, whatever the objects, whatever the variables you are taking here, those are going to show in this. Sir, can I clear all the variables? Means yes, that is also possible. So here we'll have a brush option, right? So when you click on this, see here, when I click on yes, everything is going to be vanished. So after this, when I print B, see here what happened. Initially, when I print B, some value is displayed, right? but here object B is not found. Why? Because I cleared all the variables what I declared. Okay, so with the help of this, you can clear all those things. And next thing is, this is one more part in the RStudio, that is whatever the files you have, it is going to display. These all are my desktop files. So you can also create your own folder. Okay, and you can also change this file location. Okay, that is also possible in the tools. We can change the, I mean, you can change your file location, right? And the plots here. So I executed a sample data set. So this is the cars data set it is. Okay. So in the x-axis, it is the speed. In the y-axis, the distance is there. When you are displaying some plots or graphs, it is going to display it in this, right? And packages, and this is very important. So in order to execute anything, I mean, any, what do you call, any extra thing in the R, what you have to do is you have to include, I mean, you have to download a package. So in order to download a package, so what you have to do is we have two options here. So in order to include, I mean, in order to download a package, you have two options. The very first one is we'll have a function called include dot package. Okay, include dot package, right? So includes dot package, right? Includes dot package. So here what you have to do is you have to give any package name, right? So see here, these are all the package names we have. So you can give that. So this is one way of installing. When you click on run, automatically it is going to execute. If this particular package is there, definitely it is going to install the particular package in our RStudio. Or else this is another way of installing package. From here also you can install. So see here, you can also click on this install button. After install button, it is going to ask you three things. One is install from, I already told you, this is the R repository. Whatever the files and whatever the things are there, the will have in this CRAN. And this is the package name you have to give. And this is the location where actual library is going to be set. And here we'll have an option called install dependencies. Sir, what is this install dependencies means? So for example, I want to install some tool package. When I want to install some tool package, few packages are there which are dependent on this package. If you want to install those packages also, you have to check this button. No, I want to install only this package means you have to uncheck this button. Okay, sir, it is possible to install these dependencies like the with this means, yes, that is also possible. So in order to do this, what you have to do is simply you have to give tool within the braces, you have to give the tool. Okay, so this is one package. After that, comma and dependencies equals to capital T. Capital T means true. Capital T means true. When you click on run, so it start executing. Already this package is there, so it is going to display all the, I mean, this package will be there already. It is installed in your system. It is going to be displayed. Okay, so like this we are going to be install packages. After discussing the functions, we are going to talk about few packages. Okay, after talking those packages, we'll install whatever the packages we need for our data science. We'll install and we'll use that. Okay, so generally this is an RStudio. We'll have four parts here. This is RScript, and this is the console, and this is storage. Okay, and this is whatever the files you'll have. It is going to be displayed in this space. Okay, so here it is installed. See here, all the tools are installed. Okay, like this, it will install. So depend upon your our internet, it is going to be installed faster, right? Right. So this is the way we are going to be install the packages, right? Then come to the story. So now in today's session, I think you know how to install RStudio, right? So simply, already I shared one video with you. Okay, simple concept. I mean, there is no commands to run. Simple next finish we can install. So after installing, directly it will take all the things. The only thing what you have to do is whenever you want any package, you have to include that package. You have to install that particular package. Okay, so how to install means just now I explained with the help of include.packages function or with the help of this window. Okay, right. Then come to the functions. So it's a normal, just like normal in the programming language, every function definition is that only. Okay, so here also same story, set of statements which are used to perform a task, we'll call it as a function. And generally our programming language has large number of inbuilt function. Okay, so previously we have seen list, we have list function is there, print function is there, and we have concatenate function is there. Okay, matrix function is there, array function is there. Like this, we'll have a lot of built-in functions in R. Not only that, we can also create our own function. Okay, so see here, in order to create the function, you have to use the keyword called function. Okay, so this is the syntax, the function name. Okay, so this is the you assignment operator in our programming, function and arguments, and this is the function body. And one more very important thing, for example, see here, I'll tell you one thing, a equals to 10, some b equals to 20. So if a greater than b, so what you have to do, print a is big, for example, like that, a is big. Okay. So when you click on run, a is b, it is going to display. Okay, so in the same way, see here, print b is big. So is this code will execute? See what happened, what it is displaying. So in some compilers, what you have to do is same like C programming. Okay, so if you see here, what is this? It's an error. So when you are using some online compilers, see here, online compilers ఏదైనా use చేసినప్పుడు, so what you are going to get is you are going to get error here. Just make sure. Okay. I'll show you the difference. See here. When I execute this particular code, what happened? In the RStudio, it is executed, but here it is not executed. Why? So here what you have to do is you have to place else before this open brace. Okay, so you just see these things. This B is big. Okay, so why? Because here exactly they don't know the syntax. So that is why what you have to do is you have to continue this complete if else. Okay, then only it will execute. Okay, if you write else separately, then it is going to throw an error, that is unexpected else in else. Okay, so these things you just make a note. Okay, but in R we don't have any problem, but I hope, yes, yeah, in R we don't have any problem, but we are using any online. See here also in the console unexpected else in else. See here, in some situations you just see this one, right? So this is one thing. Whenever you are, reading about this if else statements and all those things, you just make a note and prepare that syntax chart so that it will be easy for you, right? So here this one, and here what I want to do here is I want to create a function. So in order to create a function, the syntax is here. See, what is the syntax? Function name. Okay, I already created function name with the help of function keyword. Okay, we are creating this function. So the function mostly will have 4 types of function components, just like in normal programming language. The very first one is function name. So here, whenever you are giving the function name, what our environment is going to do here is that particular function name, it is going to identify as an object, and it is going to stored in the R environment. And arguments, same like normal programming languages, it's a placeholder where we can pass some values or variables or constants. And these are not mandatory. These are optional. Arguments are optional. So generally we'll have two types of arguments, right? Formal arguments and actual arguments. So here also we'll have same story. And we'll have default values also. Okay. So not only passing the values, if you are not passing the values, you can also assign some default values to the arguments. So that is also possible in this R programming, right? Next one is function body. So actual definition of the function we are going to write in this function body. And next one is a written statement is also available. Okay, so these are the four components in R programming functions also. Same four components are there. So already you are familiar. Okay, so after discussing few things, we are going to write few examples on this function so that you can clearly understand, right? So then types of function will have built-in functions and user-defined functions. I already told you R programming, R environment have a lot of built-in functions. Few built-in functions I mentioned here. One is sequence, mean, max, sum, paste. Okay, sequence means if I want to display some numbers in a sequence, you have to use this function mean in order to find the average. If you want to find out the maximum value in the given values, you have to use this maximum. And if you want to do sum of some values, so you have to use this. Okay, so you have to use this particular function. These are the built-in function. And a user-defined function means with the help of this above syntax, you have to create your own functions, right? So here I gave some examples. See here, I used sequence. So when I gave this 10, 20, what happened is it is going to display from 10 to 20, it is displayed. Okay, so here I'll execute. See here. So print sequence of 10 to 20 means it is going to display from 10 to, let me see, 10 to 20, it is going to display. And from 10 to 15, if I want to find out the mean, so this is the mean value. Okay, so from 1 to 10, the sum is 35. Okay, so like that, with the help of this built-in functions, we can use, right? And this is the sample function. Okay, so we'll write here. So generally we'll write here some output. So function name. So I'll take function name as my function, my underscore function. So this is the name of the function. Assignment. Okay, so by using function keyword, right? So here what I'll do here is with the help of this for loop, I want to display the sum of, squares of 1 to 5. When you click on run, see here 1, 4, 9, 16, 25. This is the output of this particular above program. Okay, so this is user-defined function. The user-defined function, the name of this user-defined function is my function. So instead of my function, can I give sum of, sorry, squares. Okay, like that you can mention. So the squares is the function name. So here I followed. Okay, so already it took, so that is why it is going to throw an error. Right now, sir, shall we? Can send any values? Means yes, that is also possible here. So in order to send some values, some arguments, right? See here. So this is a normal. So like this, we can also send some arguments, right? So in this example, what I'm doing here is the function name is sample function. So I'm sending a as argument. Okay, so whatever the value is there, a. So from here, the a is going to be replaced here. From that value, it is going to display the squares. Okay, so this is the function definition. In order to execute this function definition, you have to call that function, right? So here there is no arguments are there, so directly it executed. but here you have to pass the argument, right? So then only it will execute. So in order to call that same SAM function name, so within the braces, you have to send this argument. You have to send this argument. So see here, sample function A, right? So here, just copy this code. Right. So here I put A. So from here, I'll call that. Okay. Sample of some A means 5 I'll give. When I click on run, see here 1, 2, 4, 5, 3. Sorry, sample is one keyword, I think. My underscore sample. Underscore sample. Not okay. So again, you have to create something. Then it will execute. Actually, we should not rename the chain. And this is also there, some keyword. Okay. Let me take one. So this one. In this we have to start. Then only we'll execute. Okay. Let me restart this. Generally, this is RStudio. Okay. So in order to save the time, I'll use this compiler. You see here now. Those days is missing. Okay. So this we have to execute, right? And next one is we can also give the default values. Okay. So in object-oriented programming, we have this concept, default values concept. Means what do you mean by default values? Means whatever the arguments are there, whatever the arguments you want to pass. Okay. If whenever you're calling, if you're not passing those arguments, what it will do is these arguments are going to take the default values which we defined when we are creating this, when we are defining this particular function. Those are nothing but default values. When you are sending some values, and when you are sending some new values, these are going to replace the existing default values. Okay, so this is also possible. Now you see here, okay, these are the some of the squares, right? So not only this, so see here, I can also give a equals to 10. When I am not passing any value, see what happened. It is going to take this default value. Right? It is going to take the default value. Now you see here, it displayed the spades from 1 to 10. Okay, so if I'm sending any value, this particular default value is replaced with this value. Okay, so now you see displayed only 5. So that is the difference between sending default values, and if you are not sending, those are changed. Okay, and we have sequence. Yeah, this is also very important. So this is new in this programming, R programming. So now you see here, when we'll have the written result here, so you can also print this particular result here, right? So here, what I'll do is I'll take A, some B, some C. Okay, what I'll do here is I'll take a result, A plus B plus C, right? And the print result. Right? When you execute, I won't show you anything. And my sample, what you have to do, 1 comma 2 comma 3 you have to pass. So then it is going to display the addition of 3, 2 and 1. Okay, 6. So here what happened is, see, when instead of that, you can also send like this: A equals to some 10, B equals to 20, C equals to some 30. So this is also possible. So direct, instead of sending 10, 20, 30, so directly you can use the names of those arguments and you can display. That is also possible here. See here, 30 plus 20 plus 10. Sir, mandatory, compulsory you have to give in a sequence means that is not mandatory. You can give in any sequence, it will take. Okay, why? Because you're giving the names, right? You're giving the argument names kabatti. So whatever it will match the names, then only it will assign the values, right? So these are the few things in the functions. Okay, so let me
Sir,
quickly
this
revise.
is
Yeah,
call by reference, no, sir.
yes. Not
Call
call
by
by reference, call by value. Yeah,
previous
the
statement is call by.
last one, yes, last one you can take like call by value only. And we are not playing with point address here, right? So when you are taking call by pointer means, or call by reference or call by pointer means, you have to play with addresses. But here we are not playing with address. We are playing with just names and values, no? So there is no chance of call by pointer here. Only call by value and in your words, call by reference. Reference variable will also separate, right? So that also it will work. Okay. Is me doubt adena?
Adhe, sir. Okay. Okay, sir.
Right. So function is a set of block of statements performed to assign some task. So this is the syntax to create a function. And these are the 4 components we'll have in the function, right? And we have 2 types of functions. One is built-in function and user-defined function. So we have plenty of built-in functions in the R programming. Okay, user-defined means the functions which are defined by the user, right? So return statements is also possible, and the default values is also possible in our programming, right? And we can also send the values for the arguments by mentioning the names also. So that is a new thing in the R programming, right? So this is about functions, right? As a self-learning topic, what you have to do is you have to go through those if conditions, loops, and switch, next break, all these things you have to see, right? Next one is extension package. So if you want to install any packages, okay, see here, this is the function install.packages, right? So you by using these functions, you can directly install the packages what you want to use. Okay, why? Because if you want to visualize the data, we have some package. If you want to analyze the data, we'll have one package here. I mean, one library file we have to use. So in order to use all those things, you need to install those packages. So in order to install those packages, we have to use this function, right? And one more very important thing. So help is one command is there in the R programming. That is, if you want to know about any function, what you have to do is before that function, if you place question mark, it is going to show you the things of that. Okay. So let me try here. If it is execute here, I think it will not execute. Check. Yeah, see here, this is the uh, importance of R. See here, this is a generic function which combines its argument. The default method combines like that from vector. Like that you can use. Okay, install dot packages. So this is one function. See here. So if you want to download any repository from this CRAN, so you have to use these packages. Not only like this, you can also use help command. With the help of help command also, it is going to be show you. And generally, when in real time when you are working, if you want to know about some library, if you want to know some library in detail, you have to use this command. Okay, right guys, this is the basic things of R programming. So directly if I go with package, నేను direct గా ఒక package తీసుకొని if I go on executing the programs, you will not understand. So that is why I took 2 labs to cover the basic things in our programming language. You just go through those. So when you know, I mean, if you know those things, you can easily use this packages, right? Am I clear so far? Any doubts? Guys, am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, it is clear.
Right. So now the very important is we have a package in the R programming. That package is called as tidy words. The package is called tidy words. Okay. So this particular package is specially designed for data science. Okay. So that is specially designed for data science. And all the data scientists, who are using the R programming, they have to, I mean, mostly whatever the packages, I mean, mostly whatever the packages we want, all those packages are in this tidyverse package. Okay, so that is why it is specially designed for data science. And not only that, it also include all packages required data science workflow, ranging from data exploration and data visualization, right? So for example, see here in this tidy words package, we have 8 core packages there again. So for example, I gave few things here. So read R is one package is for data importing. If you want to import data from any other resources, we have to use this package. And Tibble and tidy R help in tidying the data, okay, and cleaning the data. See here, dplyr and a string R is used to data transformation, and ggplot2 is a vital for data visualization. See here, for everything, as a data scientist, after taking the data, what you have to do, you have to clean the data, you have to understand that particular data, and you have to find out the variance what you want, and you have to visualize that particular data. Then only our customer is going to understand what exactly, I mean, what for his business, we have to give some meaningful information to him. So in order to do this, if you read some terabytes, he'll not understand. So what you have to do, you have to visualize in some by taking some parameters. Then the customer is use the particular data to enhance his business. Okay, and we have there 8 core tidyverse packages, namely see here ggplot2, dplyr, tidyr, deployr antaru, tidyr, readr, purr, kibble, stringr, and forecats. So these are the 8 important packages for data scientists we are going to use. So in our codes, we'll have ggplot2 and tidyverse package. Okay, so we'll discuss, depends upon our time, we'll discuss in detail one by one. Okay, and if you want to load these packages automatically, I already told you, see here, install.packages tidyverse. So automatically it is going to install all the packages. No, sir, I don't want to install all the packages which comes under tidyverse. I want to install only ggplot2 or only tibble. In that situation, what you have to do is instead of this tidyverse, you have to give ggplot2. Okay, so like this. So let me discuss ggplot2. Before that, we'll open the R Studio and we'll install. We'll open the R Studio and we'll install this tidyverse package. Okay, so see here. In order to install this tidyverse package, what you have to do? Install dot packages. Okay, so here I'll mention tidyverse. Okay, so just now I told you what is that? Dependencies equal to T stands for true. When you click on run, see here it start installing the packages. See here it start installing the packages. So depends upon your internet thing, it is going to be installed. See here, these are the dependencies of that. See here, it will download each and every package and it is going to be installed. Okay, like this we are going to be installing, right? So it will install one by one, it is going to be installed. Okay, so before installing, we'll see it's go on increasing. Whatever the dependencies are there, it is going to install, right? So like this, you have to install the tidyverse package. Okay, and go back. So while installing, we'll see one library. Okay, so that is ggplot2. So this is for GG stands for Grammar of Graphics. Okay, so this is a data visualization library. It is very important library for a data scientist. In order to visualize the data in the form of bar charts, pie charts, histograms, scatter plots, error chart, etc., we are going to use this ggplot2 library. Not only that, it also allows us to add different types of visualization components or layers in a single visualization. Okay, so but it is not possible to create highly customized graphics. If you want to, I mean, create highly customized graphics, again we'll have some packages are there. Those packages we are going to be installed. Okay, but with this ggplot2 we can visualize few things. Okay, so if you want to install ggplot2, what you have to do, you can install.packages tidyverse or only install.packages ggplot2. If you use this one, it is going to be install only this package. If you use this tidyverse, it is going to install whatever the things are under tidyverse. Okay, so not only this, from GitHub also we can install. So in order to install from GitHub, you have to use this one. DevTools colon install GitHub install underscore GitHub and tidyverse ggplot2, like this from GitHub also. And one more thing is dplyr. Okay, it is also data manipulation library. Okay, and not only for data scientists, same like ggplot2, they are also using this particular library frequently. And here we'll have mainly 5 again sub functions are there. Okay, one is mutate, select, filter, summarize, arrange. So these are the 5 sub packages, sub functions under this package. So generally, so what it is going to do here is, in order to manipulate the data, we are going to use this particular package. Not only that, with the help of these 5 functions, these are going to combine with a group by function that can help in the performing those functions in the groups. Okay, So mutate function means what it is going to do. If you want to add new variables that are functions of existing variables, we are going to use this mutate function. If you want to select the variables based upon their names, we are going to use this select function. Filter function means if you want to select, pick some selected variables based on their values, and if you want to arrange or something else, we are going to use this filter function. And the summarize function is used to reduce multiple values into a summary. So if multiple values are there, we can summarize those things and we can display. And this is arrange, as the name indicates. If you want to arrange the values in some specific order, we are going to use this arrange function, right? Same, if you want to install dplyr, so we can install direct tidyverse completely, or you can install only this, or from GitHub, if you want to install, you can use it. Okay, so in our curriculum, we have only these two packages mainly. So after doing some programs on these two packages, we'll go and touch in some more things. Okay, so see here, it is installing. I think space 94%. So if net is slow, it is going to be, it will take time to install. Okay, am I clear, guys? Any doubt?
Yes, sir, clear.
Yes, sir, it is
Done.
clear.
What you'll do is you just download this RStudio and include this package, install this package. So that with this package, we'll get some some data sets also. Not only that, you can also find a lot of data sets are there. The Kaggle or in the GitHub, we can download from that. Okay? Right. So in the next session, we'll see programs on this packages. We'll see some experiments. We'll visualize some data. Okay, right, guys?
Yes, sir. So for me, few are denied, sir. So